Welcome to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. We've got a packed show today. Skip, Shannon, let's get to it.
Kawhi Leonard is finally getting out of San Antonio. ESPN reports that the Raptors and Spurs have agreed to a deal that would send Kawhi and Danny Green to Toronto, DeMar DeRozan, Jakob Poeltl, and a first-round draft pick to San Antonio. Now, neither Kawhi nor DeRozan appear to be too happy with this trade. DeRozan posted on Instagram this morning, quote, "Can't trust him. Ain't no loyalty in this game." And Kawhi will be an unrestricted free agent next summer. All right, a lot to unpack this morning. Breaking news, we are joined by FS1 NBA analyst Chris Broussard. Chris, was this a mistake by Toronto?
Look, I will say this. Toronto is going to be better next year. With Kawhi, with Danny Green, they got much better defensively. They already were a really good team defensively. They got rid of a remnant from being swept the last 2 years in the playoffs. DeMar was their leader. And Danny Green, I think that's a big part of this because he and Kawhi are really good three-point shooters. Yeah, they're tough. So I think.
Are you sure Kawhi isn't going to be hurt all next year?
He will be. He's going to have a great keep Skip Bayless quiet season.
Really?
Yes. He's going to.
Oh, well then that's a great deal for Toronto.
Well, for next year.
Yeah.
And I'll slightly favor Boston in the East, but I think Toronto is right there with Philly, and they're going to have a good chance in the East. But long term, I think it's lunacy. And I can only come to one conclusion. The general manager, Masai Ujiri, who's a great general manager, he did not want to build long-term around DeMar DeRozan. He would rather rebuild with young players than go pay him 3 years, $83 million for the next 3 years. So that is what I have to conclude because there is no way I see Kawhi Leonard staying there. Now, I guess maybe if they were somehow to win the finals, maybe. I think even if they got to the finals, he would leave. I don't think he wants the cold weather. I think he wants L.A. I know he wants L.A. He's already upset about it. I think this was crazy long-term on Toronto's part. We know their history. Big-time American superstars do not want to live there and stay there. Vince Carter left, Tracy McGrady, Chris Bosh. DeRozan was a borderline star when he signed that contract, or a star. He's not in the class of the guys we mentioned.
No.
Okay? Kyle Lowry was a journeyman.
Does DeRozan love Toronto? Oh, it's his whole heart.
To be there, yeah.
He does not want to leave Toronto. He's been there for 9 years.
Right.
He's upset.
He's that rare American star.
Hey, where's he from? Where's DeMar DeRozan from?
Cali.
L.A.
Compton.
Yep.
Straight out of Compton.
Yeah.
And he fell in love with Toronto. Kawhi has Compton roots.
He had 9 years to fall in love with Toronto.
All right. Well, I'm just
Kawhi's got 9 months.
Okay.
He going to trade deadline.
If that.
Yeah.
I do not see him staying. I think it was a mistake.
Kawhi is actually on his way to Vegas to participate in USA basketball with a big old middle giant foam finger for pop. Yeah, take that, because you know what's happening.
That was going to be our first topic today, and that just got preempted.
It
right?
did. Hey, this makes no sense to me. Because basically you gave up, granted, DeMar DeRozan is not a superstar. Okay, he's a fringe star player. But you gave him up for basically a rental. Yeah. Kawhi's not resigning.
How do you know that?
98.54% that Kawhi will not resign in Toronto.
I think it's even higher.
Okay, how about 99.9?
There you go.
So nothing's 100%. But if Kawhi re-signing with them is close, not re-signing with them is as close as a sure thing as you could possibly get, Skip. And it makes no sense that you would give up. Granted, okay, if you want to rebuild, you're going to rebuild, but somebody else is going to be rebuilding because you're going to be gone. Now, you fired Casey. You made this plunge. So let me get this straight. The coach of the year is gone. You're going to trade DeRozan for Kawhi. Kawhi going to be gone after the season, and then what? And you think the owner going to say, oh, yeah, you did a good job?
You're absolutely right.
No,
absolutely right.
You're right. He might want to build. Somebody else gonna finish this house. He got started.
You think he'll get fired?
Somebody else gonna finish.
I don't know about that, but this was a long term. This was a mistake because they about to fall off the map in a few years.
So first of all, I'm going to talk about my San Antonio Spurs, because this is not a good deal for my Spurs. But at least they got something instead of nothing.
Right?
They did not get it. He's a near star at best. I've
Well,
never, and I'm not being a hypocrite about this. I'm on the record for years on this show and the other show, not a DeRozan fan. He's not that guy. And I just got a text from an NBA authority who I've trusted for years, who made the point that one guy, Kawhi, quit on his team for the whole year, but the other guy quit against LeBron in that round of the playoffs.
You text yourself.
No, I did not.
That definitely had a big thing to do with this trade. Like they lost their faith in him.
That's
like,
when Masai said, you know what?
He's not our
leader.
He's
just not that guy. Right. He's the face of our franchise. He led us in scoring the last 7 straight years. He made 4 All-Star teams. He's not that guy who can take you home.
If he'd had one big game, Skip, if he'd had one big game, you could say, you know what, he did have a 30-point night. He had a 40-point night. But you can't have those shooting nights that he had and says, okay, he's the guy.
He's averaged 20 points a game for his whole 9-year career, which is pretty good. Yep. But they're always a quiet 20 to me. Right. That's just to me. And again, when I'm rooting against Toronto, I just don't ever fear him. I feared Kyle Lowry more for making shots, big shots.
He's up and down.
Yeah, but he's way up and down. Right. So I'm a Masai fan because he's a stud now. He's a dynamo.
That's why I'm surprised at this.
Okay.
But you like it.
But he plunged on the Carmelo trade. Remember when he was running the Nuggets back in February 2011? You were close to all this, but he just plunged. He said, I'm getting Carmelo up out of here, and I'll give him his wish. I'll send him home to New York where he was born, and I'm going to get back Wilson Chandler and Raymond Felton and Gallinari and Mozgov, and that's a pretty good haul for Carmelo, and we will restock our cupboard. And those next 3 years there, they were pretty good, right? They're pretty good. Well, he just plunged again. And I'm going to remind you, he's close friends with Barack Obama. Just this past Monday, they were in Kenya together and opened a sort of a sports and educational institute there for the kids. And he's got dynamic speaking abilities. He tries to create deeper interpersonal relationships with his players, which a lot of GMs just keep a hands-off approach, but he wants hands-on. So he's convinced in his mind he can convince Kawhi. Toronto's a great international city. I don't know if you've spent much time there, but it is really great. Now, it's in Canada and it gets cold and we know all that, but still, it's a city that will embrace Kawhi. Whether he's going to embrace back or even try, I don't know. But my point is, Masai is thinking, I got a chance. If you give me those 9 months, I got a chance. And I got Drake on my side, and I'm not laughing about that because he is Drake.
Well, remember Jay-Z with the Nets. Everybody thought he's bringing LeBron. He's bringing everybody.
Okay, but Drake is more part of the Raptors. They're the Drakes, man. I mean, he's courtside a lot of nights, not every night, but a lot of nights.
The baby dinosaurs has no chance of keeping Kawhi.
Yeah. But do you think Kawhi is not even the type to be? I don't see him being influenced by Drake.
Okay, but it's worth the plunge to try. Like Dwayne Casey, you kept winning 50 games. What'd you win this year? 59 games. Best in the East, best in your franchise history. But then you get swept for a second straight year by LeBron. In the last 3 years, you're 2-12 against the Cleveland Cavaliers in the postseason. And Masai says, I've seen enough. I'm going to plunge. I'm going to wipe my slate clean. I'm going to start over with Kawhi Leonard and with Nick Nurse. I don't know anything about Nick Nurse. I don't know if who knows how he'll be. He was a good D-League coach, like Phil Jackson.
I like Nick. I think he'll be all right.
All right. So then you just see if you can plunge. There's no LeBron. All of a sudden, to your point, it opens up a little more, if not a lot more. And you got Kawhi Leonard, and you still got Lowry, and Van Vliet was coming off the bench as your fire starter and your second team guy. But you got a shot to go win it. What if they just go, what if they got to their first finals next year? What if they did?
I still don't believe that's
I think they got a shot. Yeah, I think long term, man, it was a mistake. I don't think there's any chance. And Skip, you're right. I think Toronto's a great city.
Right.
But I tell you what, because I've been up there to cover a lot of games and spent some time there, playoff series, you feel it. It ain't America. And you feel that when you're there. I mean, you don't get the same sports channels there that we get here. And that stuff matters. Yeah. You grew up watching certain channels, and you know what I mean? Now, you can order special packages and all that. It's just different. And, I don't want to say anything against it.
That's going there. DeMar DeRozan got drafted there. He's used to it. It's kind of like going, if you get drafted by the New England Patriots and you have to deal with Coach Belichick, it's a lot easier as opposed to coming from somewhere else and dealing with him because that's, you know what to expect because you've been there. DeRozan was there for 10 years. Kawhi's going to probably be there at least by the trade deadline. He'll be in that
Okay, so Kawhi's people, translation uncle, made it known that he does not want to go to Toronto. Yeah. So you've got a disgruntled star in San Antonio who now has to leave San Antonio, but he has to go to Toronto. Well, I'm still not sure. This is where I'm with you guys on this. The big X factor here, is he even going to try next year? Seriously. This is a weird dude.
I think he'll want to. Like, I think consciously he'll I know I got to play my best.
Will his heart be in it?
Well, that's the question. I don't know if his heart will be in it. And you're right. Maybe that could be a factor. Subconsciously, if you're not motivated, you don't want to be there.
Well, Masai should have figured that out before you make that plunge. You need to talk. Well, first of all, Kawhi ain't talking to anybody. So you can't pick up the phone and call him and say, Kawhi, we thinking about making a trade. What do you think about this? So
I'd be curious. Do you think Masai got any conversation with him?
No way.
I don't know.
I would think that you would think that once they agree to terms, that there's some conversation. If not with Kawhi, then with the representation.
Okay, but wouldn't you want to talk to your
I agree.
star?
But like you said, he's convinced. He's going to try to convince him over these 9 months.
Yep.
My thing is this. And you're right. I mean, DeRozan is not the leader of a championship team, but with LeBron gone, like that was their problem. Yeah. Their problem wasn't Boston. I'm not saying they definitely would have beat them, but their problem wasn't Boston. Their problem wasn't Philadelphia. It was LeBron James. So you had to feel like new coach, we'll tweak some things. Let's see if we can go for it. And my feeling is this, Skip. Look, when they lose Kawhi, they're going to fall off the map into irrelevance.
Okay, that's fine. But right now, do you think Masai thinks that he gave up too much for Kawhi Leonard? Because I don't think he does.
No, but he's under the assumption, though, Skip,
you didn't give up the championship.
He thinks he can re-sign Kawhi because this is the only way
that's the
he
whole
better resign him, Chris.
They're going to fall. And look, I'm telling you, right now, they're looking at the Raptors and saying, yeah, we're 50 wins every year, but we don't go to the finals. But you know what? When you fall off into the lottery and you stay there for 5 straight years, you're going to be looking at the DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry era saying, man, I wish we had that again. Yeah. Especially in a city like I don't even think, I get it, I like it that he's going for the championship this year. But in Toronto, you just need to be really good.
Yes.
If you don't win they may never win a championship. Utah's never won a championship, but it's a great franchise.
At least you win 50, 55 games. You give the fans something to cheer about, Skip. You win in 20 games.
What if you just merely got to your first finals in your franchise history?
They're not going to the finals.
All right. I'm just saying.
I mean, it would be a good, like I said, I do think they got better this year.
Oh, yeah.
I think they got a shot in the East.
Kawhi is better than DeRozan. Yeah, that's no question.
And Green helps.
They're a better defensive team with Ibaka and Kawhi and Van Fleet.
But I told
Lowry.
you, I love Anunoby. I just think he's, I'm not saying he's a star, but he's a bona fide starter. He can defend, he can score, he's long, he's 6'8". I thought he was going to be in the deal. And if you give me both DeRozan and Anunoby and Jakob Poeltl, who's 7 feet, 260 pounds, with skills.
Bad.
He's not bad. He's the 9th pick in the draft.
But think about, Skip, let this sink in for a second. The Spurs went from wanting Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Rozier, Josh Hart, Kyle Kuzma, and Brandon Ingram to maybe Saric, Fultz, and Covington to taking DeMar DeRozan and Danny Green.
Well, I'll say this. DeRozan's, don't you think he's the best player of all the guys you mentioned?
But I think the upside of Tatum was better than DeRozan.
Tatum, of course, yeah.
I know, but what they're looking at is we got a 4-time All-Star. At least you got a viable player.
I think the Spurs did okay. Yeah. Like, they're still going to be
the Spurs
5th, 6th. Yeah, they're going to be winning close to 50 games and in the playoffs every year. And they're not going to win a championship with this team, but they're going to be there, and Pop does make guys better.
Yeah. Final question for you, Chris Broussard. In terms of incentive, right? So you said at least short term, you see Toronto being better this 1 year. Yeah. Okay. But if it goes the way a lot of people, Shannon Sharpe, one of them, saying, we all know Kawhi's going to end up in L.A. anyway. What's Kawhi Leonard's incentive to play maximum level basketball for Toronto with this 1 year?
You still have to show that you can play.
Right.
Because you sat out 1 year, and now if you don't, because some people are wondering, well, is this injury, is he going from a top 5 player to a top 15 or 20 or 25 player?
Right.
And he wants to get the max deal next year. So, yeah, he's still.
He's gonna put that work in.
Incentivized.
He's gonna look
the
real
question
good.
will be his heart. Is his heart into it?
Head case.
Stop it.
Case.
This was your guy.
All-time
This
head
was
case.
your guy.
And-
What, 5 months ago? This was
Until
your guy.
Chris Broussard predicted MVP this year, and he crumbled.
So
I'm hurt.
it's your fault, Chris.
You know who I'm predicting next year?
LeBron.
53 wins at the Lakers.
I'm with
and
you on
LeBron's
that.
MVP.
No, we don't want you with us.
Oh, you got 53
53
wins?
wins
It's
and the
too many,
MVP.
way too
They
many.
got to win.
You're sticking with us. You'll be back later in the show.
No mercy.
ESPN reporting that the Raptors and Spurs have agreed to a deal that would send Kawhi Leonard to Toronto. The Lakers were reportedly Kawhi's preference. But although they had talks with the Spurs, Magic Johnson ultimately chose not to give up any of his young players. Magic said earlier this week, quote, "We're not going to make mistakes by going out and making a deal just to say we made another deal." We're joined again by our own Chris Broussard. Chris, was this the right move by Magic?
Definitely. You could not. Spurs were asking for so much. 3 of your best young players, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart. And Hart's going to be a good player for them.
Yeah.
And draft picks. And so if you get
Well, that's what they're asking for. That's not what you have to give them.
Well, they might not have settled for anything less with
What
the
did they
Lakers.
just settle for?
They got a 4-time All-Star.
But that's in the East. You got
Exactly.
to realize the Lakers are in the West.
Exactly.
And they made it clear early on they didn't want to send him to the West.
And that's a rival, too.
Yeah.
It's not just the Western Conference team. It's the
You know how this
Lakers
thing
who
works.
you had all these battles with in the past. So,
It's been a long time. Go ahead.
It's going to be even longer now.
oh, yeah, it's going to be longer than
Oh, you're in.
But look, if they make this trade, they get LeBron and Kawhi. And where's your depth? You're not, as good as those 2 players are, you're not beating Golden State without any depth. You need some depth.
Don't look at me. Tell him that.
I think it would have been gone. So I think they did the right thing. Now look, the Lakers think they're getting Kawhi.
Yes.
Yes.
They think he wants to go there, and that will be a heck of a team if he does go there.
Just like Paul
Now, here's
George
the
was
thing.
coming, right?
Well, to your point, the Clippers think they're getting Kawhi. They don't think Kawhi wants to play with LeBron.
Yes,
a lot of people saying that's just smoke screens
Yep.
being put out there. And so I think next summer, it is going to be a heck of a fight. I think the Lakers get him. But it's going to be a heck of a fight between Magic Johnson and LeBron James and the logo, Jerry West. Because the logo is going after Kawhi hard. He's going after Kawhi and probably Jimmy Butler. But I think,
What about Clay?
I don't think Clay's going to leave.
You don't think so?
I think his dad would love him to be in the I think Clay wants to stay as long as they pay him something. So, yeah, I think Magic's doing the right thing because I just don't think you could decimate your team for 2 great, superb players, but you got no depth.
I totally agree. And that's what I've been saying all along. Yeah, we would love to have Kawhi. And maybe for 1 or 2 of those players, but you're not giving up all 3 and draft picks. That's asinine. And Magic Johnson made it abundantly clear. Yeah, I want to do a deal, but me being the businessman that I am, I do lots of deals. I've done lots of deals. I don't do bad deals, especially with your team, Skip Bayless, the silver and black. Yeah. So
Are they still your team?
Oh, yeah, that's still his team.
Now that we got rid of that guy.
Until they start winning 35 games a season.
Right.
Then he'll be gone. He'll be gone. Skip, this was the right move. You can't give up all these key pieces. I tell you what, ask the Brooklyn Nets how that worked out for you. When you trade all your young talent and all your picks, how that working out for the Nets? No.
They're still suffering.
And so we gonna get our guy just a year later. Does it matter? Okay, so what? I didn't get it.
So is this the kind of deal where LeBron gets a year younger? Is that how it works? I don't know. Maybe because LeBron's immortal.
You don't worry about LeBron.
He's superhuman. He's going to actually get a year younger, so he's going to go from 33 to 32 over this next year. As he waits for Kawhi, he goes back to 32.
LeBron
right?
Buttons.
I'll just dial it back.
That's what they call
Is that
him,
how he does it?
LeBron Buttons.
I don't know.
AKA
I don't know.
Benjamin
You know,
Buttons.
I've never known any human who could dial it back a whole
Watch
year
it.
while he waits for Kawhi Leonard. I don't know.
Watch O'Brien Buttons.
Yeah. Okay.
You saw the movie, right?
I saw it.
Okay, you know what happens, right?
Yeah, I know exactly what happened.
Okay, so this is what's happening.
You are dreaming as usual. Magic made a big mistake here. This is the one you regret because when I look at what Toronto ended up having to give for Kawhi Leonard, again, it's got to be the Kawhi who used to be, and I'm still not sure about that, but I'm just not a DeRozan fan. And Jakob Poeltl's okay. He might be a backup center. I'm not sure he's a starting center. I just, if that's all it took, plus a protected pick from next year, which is going to be like from 20 to 30, like late first round, then Magic Johnson needs to plunge on that one because you need to maximize the best player in the game's ability to win a championship for you as a Laker. And LeBron is not getting any younger. And if you just say, oh, give him a pass this year because LeBron wants to be patient, that's where you have to save him from himself. I believe LeBron wanted effectively 1 year mentally off, where he didn't have the pressure in the East of getting to a 9th straight finals and potentially losing, to Golden State again. He just said, let me go to La La Land. Let me just have 1 year with these kids and we'll figure it out and we'll be pretty good. We probably won't be able to get past Golden State. But next year, then we'll make our run with Kawhi. Well, max it out because he's in year 16. Give him a chance in 16 and a chance in 17 because by 18, you're going to get diminishing returns.
Guess what happened? He saw what happened in Cleveland when they maxed it out in year 13, year 14, year 15. And when you need to move some pieces that could really help you, you have pieces nobody wants or you don't have assets to give up to try to get something. So that's what happens. And so he also made Magic Johnson's decision a lot easier. Bro, be patient. Yep. Let's not blow this thing up. We don't know if this thing's going to sail yet. So why blow it up before we put it on the water? So that's what he did. Magic said, okay, bro.
Yeah, what would you have given up?
Brandon Ingram. That's the linchpin in the deal. That's the one. That's the centerpiece of that deal.
But they wanted cool.
Who knows? That's the opening bid. That's all we know.
There's no way. Magic Johnson. There's no way I believe that Magic would not have traded Brandon Ingram straight up for Kawhi.
If it's just Ingram and some picks,
no
chance.
They do that. Yeah, absolutely.
As good as I like Ingram, as much as I like him, he probably will not be Kawhi.
Okay, let's do Ingram and Josh Hart. As much as I like Josh Hart,
I believe they'd have done that deal.
Who went by the way?
I believe they'd have done that deal.
Would have done that. That's the thing. The Spurs weren't going to settle for what they settled for with Toronto.
Right.
You know that.
I don't know that.
You do.
I don't. They might love Brandon Ingram enough to say we project him to be better than DeMar DeRozan. They might in a couple of years.
But
I think he probably will be.
You remember you said about the Cowboys, the reason why he sold it to Jerry Jones? Now, he could have got more money from somebody else, but he knew what Jerry had promised him to do.
He was going to fire Tom Landry.
Okay.
And he did.
And why this guy was able to buy the Carolina Panthers? Mm-hmm. He had to do what? He got to leave that statue of Jerry Richardson up front. Okay. So people... What you'll do in order to get something is one thing. Skip, they were not going to take no 2 picks for Kawhi and say, call it a day. They wanted max. That's why they put it out there. They didn't want Kawhi in the West, first of all.
This is just me. One day you would look back. If you had to give up Ingram and Kuzma and Josh Hart, you'd still look back on it and say, that was well worth it. Because with Kawhi, you would be doing handsprings over there with Kawhi Leonard right now.
They won a championship?
That you would give yourself a chance next year to win one, and you'd pick the Lakers. If they had Kawhi Leonard right now, you'd pick them.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, Skip. You got no depth.
I mean,
you're going to play with Kawhi.
You still got Lance and Rondo and JaVale and who am I forgetting? You still got
That's still only 7 players.
Okay, well, you got all kinds of...
No.
I will give you this. It's somewhat of a risk because maybe you don't get Kawhi.
Well, we might get Clay. Well, we might get Jimmy Buckets. We get somebody.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm with you. I wouldn't have done it for all that they were asking. But it is a risk for 2 reasons. Because as you said, they might not get Kawhi. And LeBron isn't getting younger. Now, I do think he's got 2 years as... Certainly next year, I think he's still the best player in the world.
Okay.
The next year,
I'll give you 2 years at top, like at the top of the list.
We'll see. In year 3,
18.
We'll see.
You're 18.
That's going to be...
I said 16, 17, Skip. He gonna steal that dog.
So you think next year they going for it then?
Yeah.
I mean, you get Kawhi in that year, so his second year there.
Okay, but that means all or nothing in year 17.
That's okay.
Right?
Skip, he been going all or nothing since year 10.
Oh, okay. Well,
since he got to Miami, he's been going all or nothing.
Well, he's 3-6 in the finals, so I guess he's got a lot of nothing.
No, he got a lot of threes.
What
about them MVPs?
Yeah, so MVPs, those don't count.
Yeah, they do count. Yeah, they do count.
About to add another one.
About to add another 5.
He's got a real shot.
I got 5 on it. Yeah, you want some of that? But that's okay.
Wait, Michael Jordan led the league in scoring 10 times, and LeBron's only led it once?
How many times did he lead his team? How many times did he lead his team in assists? Or rebounding?
Well, he didn't need to, because he was going 6-0 in the finals.
LeBron needed to.
Yeah. Okay.
So if it's about rings, listen, Skip, if we're going to make this about it's Bill Russell, and there's no more discussion. Because 11 is way more than 6.
But it's
that's how you're trying to slip out of this.
So why did they keep saying 6-0 in the finals then? If it's
That's just
about...
one of the arguments.
Oh, okay then.
There's other arguments.
What other arguments?
He just gave one.
Yeah.
10 straight years. 10 straight years led the league in scoring.
What about those
3 times led him in steals.
12 first time. All pro, all NBA. How many times?
Oh, that's fine. He played longer.
Whose fault is that?
Look, you know I love LeBron, but come on.
I can't tell
you. Jordan is better.
Wait a second. Jordan, first team All-NBA defense 12 times to LeBron's 6?
No, he did it 9 times.
I think it's 12.
9.
This is all you need to know.
Okay.
The way that LeBron locked down the East, and he locked it down. MJ locked down the whole league like that.
Yep.
Simple as that. For 6 years, wasn't nobody else winning. Just like it for 8 years in the East, wasn't nobody else winning.
So
that's different.
After Bird and McHale and Parrish and all those guys got old.
The best players in the world.
Whoever
was the best players in the world from what? 89 or whatever, 91 to...
No, 91.
98.
91.
99. He locked it down.
So what was 84? 85, 86, 87.
I mean, we can point to LeBron not even making the playoffs sometimes. He didn't even make the playoffs early in his career.
Well, I mean, if you can win 35, if you can win 35 games and make the playoffs like Jordan did, you remember that, right?
But still,
okay.
I'm just saying, if we want to go back to when they were in their first 2-3 years in the league.
Why don't you rip Jordan for getting cut from his like 9th grade team or whatever?
There's nothing to rip, but I'm not going to let y'all just talk about like y'all try to poo-poo Bron.
Ain't nobody poo-pooing it. We just saying Michael's still the best.
No, I disagree. And LeBron gonna put some dirt when he win this win this ring in LA. 3 titles, 3 different locations. It's over.
Yep.
Well, more distance because it's already over.
Oh, okay.
Here we go. Brother Broussard, thank you so much for joining us.
No mercy.
Magic Johnson and the Lakers have had an extremely busy offseason. They added LeBron, Rajon Rondo, Lance Stevenson, and JaVale McGee. Now, yesterday, Magic spoke about his new look offense, but he failed to mention one particular name, one Lonzo Ball. Take a listen.
And I'll tell you, our fast break, we're already 3rd in pace in the league. So just think.
The plan is to play fast again?
Oh, man, we're going to play faster. Oh. Because look at everybody we got. Rondo, LeBron, Lance Stevenson can take it off the board and go coast to coast. Right. And then JaVale on a pick and roll play, now we become more dangerous with him in the lineup as well.
He stretches the floor vertically.
Exactly. And we didn't have that.
If he ever gets behind the defense, it's a dunk every single time.
Yeah.
Shannon, is that omission big deal, no big deal?
Skip, it's probably not a big deal, but it is very surprising. And I'm sure Magic is really excited because by signing LeBron, it sped up the process of what Magic Johnson envisioned his team of being. So now it sped the process up. He got a lot of new parts. As he mentioned, he got Rondo, he got Lance Stevenson, JaVale McGee, LeBron. So, he's mentioning we the 3rd in pace last year. Now we got guys that can take it coast to coast, and we don't have. So I'm sure he's excited. But it's hard for me to believe, Skip. And like I said, it's probably not a big deal. But that was Magic Johnson's first pick. He was the number 2 overall pick. So it's hard. The number 2 overall pick, the guy that was supposed to be the face of your franchise. Now, clearly, LeBron is going to be the face of the franchise, at least for the next couple of years. Man, to leave that guy, maybe he said, I forgot to even, I didn't even mention Lonzo. Maybe if he come back and correct himself.
I agree.
I didn't even mention Lonzo.
Yeah, like I just got carried away. Yeah.
No.
Nope.
First name out of his mouth, point guard, was Rondo.
It was the first name, period. Just the first name we got Rondo. What?
At the very position that was your first draft was a point guard, number 2 overall pick. So, Skip, look, I'm gonna give Magic the benefit of the doubt. Look, when you're talking, Skip, a lot of things, I'm sure when you're up here talking, it's like, man, I wish I'd have got that point out. And it slips your mind sometimes.
That's true.
So maybe I will give Magic the benefit of the doubt. But man, you can. And plus, Skip, Lonzo had knee surgery. I hate when guys, and sometimes it has to happen. But I'd rather guys train than rehab. Because rehab trying to get you back to a certain point. Training is pushing you past that point, so when you come to the game time, everything is easy and comfortable. Well, he's rehabbing. He ain't doing no training.
What's his dad want him to do? Run hills, right, during the, what did
You
he say
do
during
the
the year?
season? You can't run no hills.
Well, he's not running any hills right now.
He ain't gonna be running hills anytime soon.
Yep.
So I'm gonna give Magic the benefit of the doubt. He got excited. I mean, Skip. I mean, it's like Christmas. You get a lot of toys, but you remember that one big toy that you got, and that was the first one that you always mentioned. Got a big wheel one year.
Mm-hmm. Did you really?
Yeah, I got a big wheel. Me and my aunt got into it one time, and she threw me on it, split my chin open.
She threw you up against it?
Yeah. Got mad. She got mad at me. I did something to her. I should.
Child abuse. You're probably bigger than she was.
No, I wasn't at the time. That's why she got me.
Oh.
She got me, Skip.
Right. So, I was watching Magic's interview live last night, and I just about fell off my couch.
You waited.
What? What?
It's big.
I turned to Ernestine. I said, "Did you hear this?" She wasn't even watching. You know, she was playing with Hazel or something. I don't know. She said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "He didn't even." Lonzo.
Say his name.
And the first name out of his mouth was, "We're going to play faster because we got Rondo."
Well, maybe he meant Lonzo, and it had a R with Rondo. Maybe he meant Lonzo, Rondo. Skip, that can ease a mistake now, because wouldn't. You can see R.
He misspoke.
Yeah,
He
so
misspoke.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I'll give Magic this. He was sitting between two of his close friends,
Yeah.
Chauncey Billups, Mark Jones, the play-by-play man for ESPN. And they're good dudes and great conversationalists, so he was really enjoying the moment.
And he's really comfortable.
Yeah, it's summer league.
Yes.
It's just summery,
Yes.
and the action's going on, and you can see it over here on the split screen.
Right.
You know, and I'm trying to watch the game, but I'm focused on what's coming out of Magic's mouth, and it goes on for quite a while. So he gets rolling after a while, and this was somewhere, I don't know, 2/3 of the way through maybe, and yet I'll give him a small break, but not a big one, because I still think it was significant.
Yeah.
Magic's a shrewd enough operator that he might do it by choice, that to motivate Lonzo.
Pushing them buttons.
Yeah, pushing buttons, because they've been trying to push Lonzo's all off season. That's possible. But Magic was excited. And when Magic talks about the sport he loves, basketball, the sport he loves the most, because he loves baseball too and everything else. But he just coming out of his chair, and his vision of the Laker fast break going from fast to faster next year featured in his mind Rondo running the point.
Yeah.
What? Lonzo Ball, last year there was some metric, I couldn't find it before the show, but it came out last year with ball in hand, dribbling the ball up court at full speed. Lonzo was top 3 in the league in overall speed, because he's 6'7", long. Once he gets unwound with the long legs, he can fly, man. That's what Steve Alford used to talk about at UCLA. He said it's always like he's pushing the ball downhill at the defense. Well, that's what he does. And Lonzo's passing genius involves up-court passing.
Right.
You know, that's kind of what he does, man. And he can generate all kinds of wing breaks. And LeBron would love that, because if you get LeBron playing Karl Malone out on the wing to John Stockton just running downhill at the defense, it will work. But he's got Rondo running that, initiating, and then all of a sudden it's Lance and it's JaVale. JaVale can run the floor. I get all that. They can play a little faster than they did last year when they were the 3rd fastest team.
Yeah, they're going to be a lot faster minus Brook Lopez.
Okay, all right. I give you all that, but he omitted Lonzo. Is it because Lonzo's having knee surgery? I don't understand why it took so long. We're to mid-July.
Yeah, exactly.
You had all kinds of chances. Because remember, he missed the end of the year.
Right.
You could have had it right away.
Right after the season.
And again, they said they were trying to rehab it with no surgery, but it's just a meniscus tear. It's not that big a deal. You should just go get it clipped. Get it done. Go on about your business, but you got to give yourself time to heal. And then, to your point, lots of time to train at what you need to train at.
Correct.
You need to do your all your basketball drills. You need to shoot and shoot and shoot. And again, the surgery won't preclude you shooting in the gym, but still, 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4 in this case. Something's out of whack here.
Well, I think the thing is, Skip, is that Magic's pushing buttons, but LeVar said his son has dealt with pressure. We're about to see how well, because Rondo's coming.
Yeah, but his son never dealt with, I might be benched kind of pressure.
No.
It was always expectation pressure.
For the most part, he was the best player on his high school team. He was the best player on his college team.
I mean, it wasn't for the most part. He just always was.
Right. So
he
now,
was a prodigy.
So now, how do you deal with it? You're not the best.
This is lose your job pressure.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you dealt with got to win a job
And guess
pressure.
what?
You know,
See, in high school, LeVar could have the coach replaced. He could have the coach fired. That's not how it works in pro sport.
well, I think he already tried.
Yeah.
Didn't he try with Luke last year? They've quit on him.
Either you can or you can't, Skip. You can get some endorsement deals by talking. Can't talk to nobody at no game.
So is this an anti-LeVar omission where he just
No.
decided I'm out?
Magic Johnson not even thinking about LeVar. He's just excited. I think he meant Lonzo. He said Rondo. Skip.
Do you really think that?
Yeah!
You do not.
Look at that.
It happens sometimes.
It
People
doesn't
misspeak.
happen. No, not when it's that guy. Not when it's a Rondo who's played in NBA Finals.
Yeah, exactly.
He wants experience. He wants dependability, even though Rondo can be very difficult to coach in and of himself. But it's clear to me he's going forward with a vision next year of Rondo.
If he's able to fight Rondo off, Skip, you might be on to something. If he's able to fight Rondo off and Rondo is true, the backup, that's going to tell me a lot about Lonzo Ball.
We're about to find out what he's really made
We're
of.
about to find out.
Because I got to say this, I love Lonzo Ball, but there's a lot of spoiled kid in there too, because he's been spoiled at every turn.
Well, ain't no spoiled kid in Rondo.
Nope.
Rondo, that dog. Now, you talk about you like that dog. He got it in him.
He's got that dog. The coach will find out how much dog he's got in him.
Yeah.
Well, here we go.
Grown man game. All right, we'll find out how grown he is.
No mercy.
Cowboys defensive end Randy Gregory was reinstated on a conditional basis by the NFL yesterday. Now, he can show up for training camp and go to team meetings, but he has not been cleared to practice or play. Now, Gregory last played in 2016, but then was banned by the league for repeated violations of the substance abuse policy. Shannon, what do you see for Randy Gregory's future here?
Skip, it's really impossible to know, and you know I do my absolute best to give you a very straightforward answer every time we have a topic. But, Skip, I don't know. He's had 4, 5 chances. And to say, well, he's turned the corner, because when people have these kind of issues, it's day to day. He might be great for 5 days. He might be great for 5 months. He might be great for 5 years. And I wish him all the best. But when you're dealing with these type of issues, it's the unknown. Because one day, he might drive by a bar, Skip, or whatever his habit is. We know what it is, but I'm saying.
I don't think it's driving by a bar.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, you know, they got these medicinal plants that's popping up all over the place now. They're very prominent in California. But so he might just drive, hey, Skip, his boys come in town. Nah, I'm good. But just that one day. So you don't know. He looks like, for the mere fact that the Cowboys stuck by him all this time, lets you know they think he has potential. He's shown potential, but he's missed basically the better part of 2 years, Skip, via drug suspensions. He had these issues in college. He brought these very issues with him to the NFL. So for me to sit here and say, well, Skip, you know what? He's turned the corner. He's going to be a guy that you can depend on, you can count on. I don't know. Has it happened? Von Miller went through something very similar. Von Miller is not only is he no longer in the program, he's a captain. He's a MVP of the Super Bowl. So it can be done. It looks like Josh Gordon has turned the corner, but it took him 4 or 5 chances or opportunities for him to turn the corner. But we still don't know, Skip. But it looks like Dallas has something. Now, if they're going to make this trade for Earl Thomas, Skip, I might just have to go and give you your 5 cases due early, because I believe with Earl Thomas and that thing, they might go on and get about 10 wins and sneak in the play.
Go, Jerry, go. Win me that due. I don't know what he's waiting on. I don't know.
He don't want to get that money up, Skip.
So on Randy Gregory, first I'm going to speak with my cowboy loving heart. Then I'm going to speak with my head. But first, my heart. He is a difference maker. I'm not saying he's Von Miller, because there are very few of those. But he's somewhere up in there.
Well, it's a nice compliment to the other guy, Lawrence, on one side, him on the other.
The little flashes I've seen from Randy Gregory as a pro football player, I see it. Flies off the edge. At that combine, in which he failed a drug test, he also didn't fail when he ran the 40, because he ran it in 4.6. That's what Emmitt Smith ran it. That's what Le'Veon Bell ran it. Except Randy Gregory is 6'5", 255, and he runs a 4.6 40. Shannon Sharpe, you know and I know, that'll translate, right?
His first step, watch him. Just look at him on tape.
I don't know. Okay. So, liked him in college. I loved him in college. And he would have been a top 10 pick. He might have been a top 5 pick. But he fell into the second round because of he failed a drug test at the combine. That's hard to do. That's when you should know.
Skip, it's like actually going for a job interview and you show up to meet the boss and you're high.
And you're high.
Did you? So they say one or two things. You got the two D's going on, Skip. Either you dumb or you dependent.
I don't know. I don't think he's dumb. I think he's dependent.
Okay.
So in his rookie year, I happened at that time to be close friends with one Herman Edwards, now the new head coach at Arizona State. Okay. And I was at ESPN, as we both were, and he volunteered and connected with Randy Gregory's people to mentor Randy through his rookie year. And they clicked and really deeply connected. And Herm used to tell me, this is a great kid, smart, charismatic, saying and doing all the right things. We got this. No, you don't got this. Because when you are dependent, it's a deep, dark demon to have to defeat. And Herm couldn't help him. And then I saw Herm 3 months later, and he's like, I don't know. I tried. I gave it my best shot. And so let's look at what's happened. He failed a drug test at the combine. And now in grand total as an NFL player, he's failed, I think, 7 drug tests. You want to talk about multiple offender. Woo. So, having gone through this in my family with substance abuse, mother and father, the history would scream at you, he will fail again. I hate to say that, but that's what history would tell you right now very strongly and sternly. You just can't trust him. I admire Jerry Jones. You know how Jerry is. He's got the big heart, and he thinks he can save every soul out there, and he thinks he can save Randy Gregory's soul. And I'm pretty sure if you sat down today with Randy Gregory, you would be impressed with him, and you would want to root for him.
Absolutely.
And I want to root for him just as a fan of the player. But I look at this, and I also wonder about when you play 2 games in 2 years, what do you lose? How much do you decline? I don't know.
Yeah, because the competition, Skip, the actual, your senses, because you know where blocks are coming from and you know how to set people. I don't care. There's nothing gets you better than playing football. You can do all the running on the track and doing the dummies and all that other stuff, Skip, until you get out there and actually play football. That's how guys get better. And he hadn't played football, like you said, basically 2 games in 2 years.
So Jerry took a long shot plunge on him, and if he hits this, so to speak, oil well, this would be a gusher. Because, like you said, DeMarcus Lawrence on the opposite side.
And they still got David Irving, who's serving a 4-game suspension, a big bull in the middle.
Another issue going on there. I don't know what's going on, but that's another one for him. It's Dallas.
You said it goes back to the 70s.
It goes back to the first. It goes back to the 60s, actually. It goes back to the 60s.
You're actually right. Yeah, you're right.
It's Dallas, Texas. When it comes to the NFL, that's Sin City.
You got to do it big, Skip. In Dallas, in Texas, everything's bigger, right?
Everything's
so
bigger.
You can't have a little party. You got to have a big party.
Everybody in Dallas wants to see and be seen with the Dallas Cowboy, and they will do anything to ingratiate themselves with the Dallas Cowboy. They will get you whatever you want at whatever party you want to show up at, just so they can see and be seen with you.
Oh, that's my guy.
And that's what happens.
The thing is, Skip, can he be a difference maker? We have yet to see him stay on the field long enough to give us that consistency to say, you know what, Skip, he can be a difference maker. Now, we saw that with Lawrence. He had some issues also. We saw him. Oh, he's a difference maker. We have yet to see Randy Gregory string games together to show us that consistency. Now, he has the ability. Like you said, 6'5", 255, great first step. Can bend the edge. That's what you want for an edge rusher. Can he put the game together?
And he's got a little edge in him.
Oh, yeah.
Which is always good for that position. So give me healthy Randy Gregory, healthy and happy and upright. Give me Earl Thomas, and all of a sudden Shannon Sharpe's in big trouble over there, right?
Yeah. If you can keep what you call him on the field too now, Sean Lee.
Oh, Sean Lee. Well, at least that's not substance abuse. That's just body
injury
abuse, right?
Exactly. He's like the 3rd best middle linebacker, but that's not
he's
bad.
the first best, but that's okay. Coach on the field. Yep. Here we go. Here we come. We got this.
You have. Look how one minute you're down with San Antonio, now you back up with the Cowboys. You'll be down again because we're gonna talk about the Spurs
Don't
again.
sleep on those Spurs.
Skip swags up.
That means when they were winning championships, people were sleeping on them.
They were. You've slept through them.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Some of the lowest rated finals in NBA history. Am I lying, Skip?
There were a couple in there early on. I was watching.
You were the only one.
I should have counted like 1,000.
Yeah,
right?
you had on every TV. You had like 15 TVs on trying to give them ratings.
Yeah, black and silver, baby. It's everywhere.
Huh? Don't steal the Raiders, man. Don't do that, Skip. Don't steal the Raiders, man.
No mercy. Terrell Owens will not be in Canton for his Hall of Fame induction next month, but it appears that he still wants to play in the NFL. Now, T.O.'s agent said, quote, he wants to play in the NFL, but if he can't, the CFL is the next best option. Now, T.O.'s already activated a 10-day window with the CFL, meaning the Edmonton Eskimos can either offer him a contract or release him. And just for the record, T.O. is 44 years old and has not played in the NFL since 2010. Okay, we're joined now by Fox NFL analyst Mark Schlereth. We're going to definitely get deep into this in a second, Mark. But first I want to start with you, Skip. What's your reaction to this?
So I'm sitting across from two ex-NFL players who had to go through that trauma of stopping. You have to let it go. You have to say, my body says no more, right? Mm-hmm. Your heart said no more. You couldn't take the meetings. I don't know what your rationale was. Was it body and mind?
My body just said up no. Yours, I ain't doing it anymore.
and how old were you? You were
35.
35, and you were 35, okay? Mm-hmm. So this is my theory about a Terrell that I know pretty well, spent a lot of time around him, covered his team in San Francisco. He never got over this league rejecting him. And I believe that part of, maybe a small part, but part of his Hall of Fame protest is that he's still mad at the league that rejected him. Because remember, Pete Carroll sent him home, and he thought prematurely. Mm-hmm. That was in August. That was August 26th of 2012. Mm-hmm. And he'd already missed a season before that with an ACL. Right. But he thought he was going to be a Seahawk. And he had one pretty good preseason game, then he dropped a ball in another one. And this wasn't the last cut that he made it to. It was the second to last cut. Right. And the great Pete Carroll, the players coach, sent him home. Yep. And it really shook him up. Mm-hmm. And nothing Terrell has been able to find in his life has made him nearly as happy as playing NFL football did. Mm-hmm. And he will not let go of this. And he's still angry at the league in general for shunning him, for forcing him out, in his view, way prematurely. So here he is, as Ebony points out, 44 years, 44? And he hasn't played a full season since 2010. And he's still working out with a Julio Jones and an Odell Beckham. And we got the video. He just ran on the UCLA track. He was on the track, but he ran 4.4. Pretty impressive. Very. And I told you, I admire the shape that he's in. He still believes, heart and soul, that he could play for an NFL team. Yep. I told you, I believe that if my Cowboys desperately need a receiver, if they put him in occasionally as sort of the fourth receiver, could he catch a couple balls a game? I believe he could. You believe he wouldn't stay healthy very long, right? But it's in the end, it's very sad to me that part of his anger aimed at the Hall of Fame is also aimed at a league that he believes just rejected him way too early, and that at 44 he could shatter the mold and come back and be a contributing receiver for an NFL team. Your thoughts?
Well, you go ahead, Shannon.
Skip, I agree with you. I wish T.O. had gotten the opportunity when in 2011 or 2012, when it was still a viable chance or an option for him to play in the NFL. Mm-hmm. But Skip, for whatever reason, and we all want to leave on our terms. Mm-hmm. And maybe it was easier for Stink to leave because he had 3 Super Bowl wins. He'd gone to the Pro Bowl. And I had 3. Yep. And I'd accomplished. Yep. But for me, Skip, what is it that T.O. can accomplish? And maybe this is only for him. Maybe he wants to prove to himself that he can still play. But what could T.O. come back and do in the NFL that would change one person's mind about who and what Terrell is?
I don't think that's the case. He just wants to be happy playing football because nothing else he's found in life makes him nearly as happy as playing for an NFL team.
You're never going to find anything that as far as competitive and being around the guys all the time. Right. There's nothing like that.
Being in that spotlight.
No, there's nothing. But by any metric, even no matter what you think of, by any metric, at worst case, he's the 3rd greatest receiver all time.
Okay. That's in concrete. Yeah. It's also it's in a bust form right now. Yeah.
You would think after accomplishing all of that is still not enough because he's not getting to leave on his terms.
Yeah.
I want to tell you no, because right now it's like, okay, Skip, it's like I want to get back together with you so I can break up with you, because right now you broke up with me.
That is
so
correct.
I want to get back with you so I can break up with you and I'll be good.
That is correct.
Come on.
Well,
Yeah.
well.
The issue is a total lack of self-awareness. And that's been the problem with him and his career in general. Over-evaluating your own value to a team and underestimating your distraction. I know this about the National Football League. When your distraction or the headache that you cause outweighs your talent, then nobody is going to be willing to offer you a job anymore. And with T.O., as you get diminishing skills and as you get older, they're like, why would we put up with that when we know there's going to be a headache? You talked about Pete Carroll. That team has been known for dealing with distractions. It's been known.
I thought he was a good fit there, actually.
For dealing with those type of things. So the thing is that your distraction, maybe you have regret. Maybe you have regret for the way you carried yourself with your teammates. Maybe you want to try to rectify those things, but you're not going to get the opportunity because you're 44 years old and your diminishing skill set. I don't care if you run a 440. I know a lot of fast guys. Like I could walk out into the weight room right now and bench over 400 pounds. Doesn't mean that I can play in the NFL. I'll break like a piece of peanut brittle. And I will tell you this, go ahead and let him run a route across the middle. Because somebody's going to make a name for themselves. I just know, I know the frontier justice that goes on in the National Football League, and somebody's going to try to break him.
Like I said, it could have been a more viable possibility or option, Skip, if he's 36, 37. But having not played in almost a decade, haven't taken a hit in almost a decade, and all of a sudden, he looks like that, and he's always going to look like that. But doesn't mean you can take those rigors of hits in the NFL. That's a different ball game.
So he has tried sitting in that chair. He has tried doing a podcast with his friend Eric Dickerson, and it just doesn't scratch the itch, man.
No.
It's just like, I need to get out there and do something. Is Canada a viable option? I think it's a pretty high level of football in Canada. I think
they tackle.
I think you're going to get tackled hard.
Yes.
And I always told Terrell's a tough guy now. He would go in his heyday. He wasn't afraid of no middle. He would go.
Oh yeah, he's tough.
He played a Super Bowl on a broken ankle. I mean, there's no question about his toughness.
But the thing is that the recovery, it gets harder and harder as you get older, and the licks usually to recover for about Wednesday. All of a sudden that's Thursday, and then all of a sudden it's Friday, and then towards the end, my 13th to 14th year, I wasn't feeling good until Saturday. Well, hell, I got to go play a game on Sunday.
Right.
Can you imagine at 44, Skip? I was 34, 33 and 34. 44.
Okay, and back to Mark's point, let's do the hypothetical. What if some NFL team right now, let's take my Cowboys, said, we need somebody. Let's bring him to camp. Then Jerry's going to say, we already sent him home once.
Yeah.
This is T.O. He's
production intolerance.
Yeah.
What kind of production am I going to get for the tolerance level I need to have to deal with what's going to come along with it? You know what you're going to get, the production. So what, is that worth 40 catches? Because what? I mean, I don't believe T.O. can give you 100 catches, 80 catches. So for 40 catches,
Is it worth having it as your fourth receiver?
Right.
No.
Fourth receivers now, Skip, they make $300,000. They're a first or second year guy on a rookie contract.
Yep.
T.O.'s going to have to pay him $1 million. So why would I pay $1 million for a fourth receiver when I can get this guy for $300,000?
Right. Not only does he create a media circus, he's his own media circus on social media, right?
Right.
It's crazy what's going to happen.
Skip, when you get it in your head, I mean, that's what made him what he is. Because when people told him he couldn't, he's like, I can. Right. And the same thing now, people tell him he can't, he's like, I can. But we all know this work. He's not going to get that opportunity.
He's competing with everybody, man. He's competing with you. He's competing with you. He's competing with the NFL. I'm going to go ahead and prove it. I just don't think he'll get the opportunity to prove it. I just don't think anybody's going to put up with the headache that is T.O. for the, like you said, the lack of production, tolerance versus production. It's just not. It's just
for
not.
his sake, I wish he could find something else that made him happy, some other endeavor, some pursuit that had nothing to do with football.
Well, I'm trying to win the lottery. That'll make me real happy.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to win that Powerball, the big.
You got a system?
No, let the computer pick it.
Okay, but if you won, would you not come into work the next
The next day,
Thank
right
you.
here.
Yep. You better.
I love it.
But
You better.
I might have to miss that Friday skip because I'm gonna be up in Malibu looking for me a pad.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be up there old Boo looking for me a pad.
You
No.
have a longer drive into work because you'd be coming from the coast, right?
Yeah, but I'm not. But I keep my place right here.
Oh, you would?
Yeah, I keep my place right
so
here.
you'd have
So
a
it'd be like a
couple
weekend.
places.
Yeah. Weekend I'll be up by the ocean. You know, I always wanted to, when I was growing up in Georgia, landlocked, I always wanted to overlook the ocean.
He's so.
No, I didn't.
Look at you cracking yourself
He's
up.
so full.
No, I didn't. I don't really like the water
Oh
like
my
that.
goodness!
I
You
really
know
don't.
what? I had to sit and listen to 6 years of this in a locker room.
You did.
Yeah, I did.
I love it, Mark. Thank you so much
got
for
it.
joining us.
My
Of
pleasure.
course.
No mercy. Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. We're back again tomorrow morning at 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports, one of one.